bring back rock.
Hey, it's Dean and welcome to Bring Back Rock. If you're here and you like these videos, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Alright, today we're talking about another UK band. We've talked about a couple of these in the past, Little Angels and Tiger Tails. This band I thought had a chance to break through on their third release, which had a fun video, great song, and it just didn't happen for whatever reason. So let me tell you a little bit about the band Shy. Now, Shy England for one release in some parts of the world. We'll talk about that later in the video. Alright, so let's talk about Shy, and I'll catch up with you at the end of the video. Let's jump right into Shy, whose classic lineup was Tony Mills on vocals, Alan Kelly on drums, Patty or Pat McKenna on keys, Roy Davis on bass, and Steve Harris, nope, not that Steve Harris, this one, on guitar. Shy is an English band that released their first album on Ebony Records in 1983. Receiving a positive review from Kerrang. The band then was signed to RCA Records and released their major label debut, Brave the Storm, in 1985. A single, Hold On to Your Love, started charting in England, but as a single rose, it was discovered that some marketing genius decided to include shrink-wrapped t-shirts with purchases of the album, and that disqualified the album and single from charting, which caused the album to lose momentum. Around this time, the band was touring with bands such as Bon Jovi, Twisted Sister, Meat Loaf, and UFO. In 1986, the band made the move to LA, and the band started writing with outside writers such as Bob Kulick, Michael DeBar, Michael Bolton, and Don Dokken. Don Dokken is credited with co-writing their single, Tear Down the Walls, which is also an MTV video hit. If you ask the band says Dokken's contribution was minimal, as they did write a song, the producer didn't like it and decided not to use the song, but they ended up using the opening guitar riff. However, they knew having Don Dokken's name attached to them would only be a positive at the time. Shy released their most popular record, Access All Areas, in 1987. Despite the momentum, they were released from their contract and quickly signed with MCA. In 1989, they released their debut album on MCA Records, which was called Misspent Youth. Just need to point out, in some places this was released as a Shy record, in some places it was released as a Shy England record. Not sure why, just to confuse people. Anyway, same album, same people, same cover, same everything. Alright, in 1990, Tony Mills left the band. He wasn't happy with the songs on Misspent Youth. I respectfully disagree. I think it's an awesome album, and it had another MTV video called Give It All You Got, which did pretty well. Anyway, he left in 1990 and was replaced by ex-Sabre vocalist John Ward, and the album Welcome to the Madhouse was released in 1994 on Granite Records. Just my opinion, this was another good release. Maybe a little bit heavier, the keyboard seemed to be dialed down a bit, and the vocalist had a different vocal style, but the album still had really catchy songwriting, and it's definitely worth checking out. This came out in 1994. Now, if you remember the state of music in 1994, it wasn't good. I somehow missed this back in the day, but it would have been a welcome find. Moving on to 1999, when they released two records, Let the Hammer Fall and Regeneration on Neat Metal. These albums contained previously unreleased songs with Tony Mills. Mills returned to the band for two more albums, Unfinished Business and Sunset and Vine, in 2002 and 2004. They released one more album in 2011, with Lee Small on vocals. Okay, here's my opinion again. This is another good release. It followed a little bit closer to the Tony Mills era Shy. He had a similar vocal style, and the keyboards were dialed up in the songwriting again. Since leaving Shy, Tony Mills has released multiple solo albums right up to the year of his death. He was part of various bands and projects, most famously with TNT, fronting them from 2006 to 2013, and recording 3 albums with the band before leaving for personal and musical differences. Unfortunately, guitarist Steve Harris died of a brain tumor in 2011, the same year as Shy's final album. Vocalist Tony Mills also died in 2019 of pancreatic cancer. So with their deaths, I expect there to be no more music coming from Shy. But we can listen to and enjoy the music they left behind. So let's check out a few samples, and then I'll catch up with you at the end of the video.
Another lonely night on my own.
right, so that's Shy. Now, where can you find them? You can, as always, find their records in the secondary market, although a couple of those albums are getting kind of expensive. Some of the albums are available streaming. Good news for us is that some of the expensive albums are actually the ones you can find streaming, so we got lucky there. Rock Candy Records has re-released Brave the Storm and Access All Areas, and I always like to point people to those labels that are re-releasing these albums for us, so we don't have to pay so much in the secondary markets for them. So I always encourage people to support those. And that's about it. I really, as always, appreciate anybody that comes here, spends any time here, comments, shares, whatever you do to help support the channel. I really do appreciate it. And we will catch you on the next one. Thanks.